Did you hit the button yet?
Yes, we're live. It's time to breathe again, y'all. Time to breathe again on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. I am Charles, and as y'all can see, I have Patrick back with me, man. How you doing? How you hanging around?
All right, man. I'm hanging there. Not a problem. You know, it's always good when you're on this side of the grass.
Well, hey, look, man, I know you've been going through some stuff, and I'm glad to have you back, man. Like I said, the seat's still warm for you, so it's good to have you back in there. And
good to be back. Good to be back.
All right, well, hey, man, we got a lot to cover on this show, and we'll go ahead. We'll start with the NFL and what had happened in week 2. So, what caught your eye? Well, okay, I'll put that.
You want to know what caught my eye? You want me to start?
I'll put that another way. Besides the obvious, Patrick.
No, let me just say, with all the bad things that's happening in 2020, at least Atlanta's consistent. The only thing that's consistent in all of the world right now, Atlanta can blow a 20-point lead.
You have to let me know one thing, Patrick, about that game. What were they doing on that onside kick?
Okay, well let me ask you this before I answer that question. Mm-hmm. What were they doing on the entire second half?
Well, yeah, now ever since they got the 20-0 lead, I don't know. Look, here's the thing. Jose. So
hold on. I got it on private chat. Let me look at the comment. Yes, it does. And now I have to do it in my in my division now.
So look, I know you know how games go. You have your ups, you have your highs. Teams make some.
You're Atlanta, you have all your lows.
But man, that is a bad loss in every sense of the word. And I don't know how Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator and the special teams coach, I don't know how they have jobs today, but they somehow they're still employed.
Nobody.
Somehow they're still employed. That is crazy. But all right, look, I know you could rant all day on that.
Oh, bro, you got an hour. You can rant, bro.
What else caught your eye, Patrick?
Truthfully, there's a lot of things that caught my eye, man. Besides do we call it a debacle, or is it time to blow up in Atlanta? I don't know.
Well,
God, after that, yeah. I mean, like, I'm looking at 4 or 5 people that we keep. Everybody else gone. Benches gone. Gatorade packs gone. Everybody gone. Get them out. I don't even want to see anything that has to do with this loss again at all. And I mean, like, Julio dropping that end zone pass. Oh my God. Like, that happens once in a lifetime. I'm glad that's over with now, so we don't have to see that again. But there's a lot of things. All the injuries. My God. I mean, I think the 49ers suffered like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
and some big losses for you, dude. Saints could not put the Raiders away, man. I was a little surprised with that. I thought Drew Brees was gonna control that game a little more, but Raiders defense controlled that game a lot more than anybody did. So anyway, kudos to the Raiders to win their stadium home opener. That was pretty cool. But yeah, those are the biggest things that caught my eye. And Kansas City coming back from that their deficit to win their game.
Yeah, the 49ers, that's a tough one for me with all the injuries we have had. I mean, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, they're both gone for the season with torn ACLs. And that's something. So I think if I get the chance, I'm going to address that in a shorty. This will be kind of a life one with the 49ers. Because basically the purpose of that one is, man, look, when you get to the Super Bowl, you're going through it as an Atlanta fan. When you get to the Super Bowl and you have the chance to win that bad boy, you got to do it.
Yep.
Because you don't know if you're going to get there again. And especially if you have leads in the fourth quarter, like the 49ers did last year. They had a 10-point lead in that game against Kansas City with 9 minutes. Got to put that away. We know the Atlanta one, so I'm not going to bring that up. But
or the Georgia one, or Jose.
Jose is not going to let you lift this down.
Dude.
Yeah.
We can dude, Atlanta. There's one good thing that happened. I guess you could call it one good thing that happens in Atlanta. We are really, really, really extremely good at finding ways to lose. Yeah. Georgia does it in all aspects of the game. I mean, like, was it 8-9 years ago? Georgia found a way to lose to Georgia Bulldogs found a way to lose to Fresno State in baseball World Series. We found ways to lose to Alabama with big leads. Falcons can't hold big leads against
anybody, apparently.
Browns. God, can you imagine Nick Chubb coming back to Atlanta and putting up 200 yards and beating us? Oh, my God.
It's bad. And, I mean, let's say I know with
hey, and Jose, we're going to get on your Patriots right here in just a minute because I'm just saying.
That was a good game. So, look, but yeah, when you have the chance to win a championship, let's say you have to find a way to get it. And I've heard people say, well, they got there. Look, man, if you're going to get there, you might as well win it while you're there. You don't want to get there and lose and then have to start all the way back over and make that run again. And because things like what is happening to my team can happen. Everybody gets hurt. I mean, and there's the 49ers, they're not the only team to go through this, of course. I mean, there's been some huge injuries all over the league. It's been rough.
There was a bunch of injuries to another team. They had another 3 injuries, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Let's see. Saquon Barkley, he got hurt. He's gone for the year. The Broncos have had a lot of injuries, kind of hit them. Yeah, Cam. Jose.
Cam Bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay.
So
he's going to lose. Cam Newton will lose more games because of his attitude than the Patriots are used to. I'll tell you that.
You know what? But Patrick, I don't know, man, because look, if
he puts himself in check, they'll be fine. But if he doesn't,
so that's the thing. I mean, I believe in Bill Belichick.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still got him winning that conference or that division, but man, they better put Cam Newton in check because
Cam's fine. What do you mean? Cam?
Did you not see all that stuff he was doing?
Well,
he's chest bumping after, like, I mean, come on, just play the game, bro. You're good enough to play the game.
Nothing wrong with chest bumping, Patrick. Come on.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. You want to stop Cam Newton from doing the Superman? Stop him from getting in the end zone. True believer of that. But the thing is that Cam Newton, I don't have a problem with him doing what he does. Just don't overdo it. Don't do what you did in Carolina and expect to stay. That's what I'm saying. You can do the chest bump. You can do all those things, but
give it a little bit. Patrick, it's 2 games. Give it a little bit, dude.
It's 2 games, but they're about to be enough starter.
I think you're seeing the comments from Jose, and you're like, nope, you gotta get it. So that's what's going so, but
No,
look,
truthfully, the Patriots would be fine, man. I just want to give Cam Newton a hard time. Plus, he came from Auburn, jackass.
it's true. But, look, I think with all the injuries, man, yeah, I don't know. It could be a combination of things. You didn't really have a training camp per se. You couldn't do the joint practices. People, I mean, I don't even really know how a lot of these training camps were going. Were they holding it a little bit more virtual? Were they holding it more in person? Did social distance and all that stuff? I mean, this is a weird year when it comes to those things. So I don't know if okay, everything Jose. So I think if
Cam will be fine. Cam will be fine. Truthfully, Cam will be fine. He's gonna have a few things, but nothing to worry about.
so I
And yeah,
think
no problem. Anyway,
so I think with everything that is going on with the league, I think it's just a weird year. Everything's a little bit off kilter, and I don't know if the players, truthfully, some of them they might not have been in shape. Some of them might have just started practicing right before the first game of the season. I don't know. So it is. It does seem a little bit excessive with the injuries. Another thing that come out, you brought up the Raiders, and I actually picked the Raiders to win that game. And the reason why I picked the Raiders to win that game is because the Saints, they were without Michael Thomas in that game as well. Of course, the number one receiver, some people have him as the best receiver in the league. I just feel like the Saints, while I think they're good enough to win the division, I don't know. They don't seem like that juggernaut team that they might have been in years past. I think maybe with the exception of Kansas City's offense, this is like everybody can be got. Kansas City can get got. It's true. Kansas City should have lost Sunday.
The Chargers, right. Yeah, they should have lost Sunday.
So, I mean, I think it's one of those years. Again, Patrick, in sports, I know we're still kind of talking about the NFL, but in sports this year, anything could happen. It would not surprise me at all to see any host of at least 10 teams win the Super Bowl this year. We're going to get to those other sports here in a little bit, but yeah, the Raiders, that was a kind of that they stuck out to me the way they were able to come back in that game. I think the man, it's escaping me right now. Seattle, the Seattle New England game. Seattle's looking pretty good as well. Russell Wilson looks really sharp, and so does Aaron Rodgers for the Packers right now. This man looks like maybe he heard all the talk. Of course, you know they had the draft pick that came through. And everybody was saying, "Oh well, this is Aaron Rodgers getting benched." Look, Aaron Rodgers will be fine. This dude, there's nothing. He's good.
Yeah,
that's one thing I don't worry
about. Russell Wilson. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, as long as he stays healthy, of course.
Oh yeah. Going back on that Russell Wilson, man. He looked sharper in that game than I have seen him since a couple years back when they were in the Super Bowl. This is the sharpest he's been, man. He was on point with that game, man. I mean, like it would have been very surprising to see Seattle lose that game. And unfortunately it happened against the Patriots, and don't get me wrong, Cam Newton played a fantastic game, and that New England Patriot defense put up everything they could. I was looking at the stats. I think they blitz like 60% of the time. They were making Russell move, and yeah. I do want to talk about real quick. I want to talk about the week 1 game of the Saints and Tampa Bay, and a lot of people are like on this whole Saints thing and about that whole Tampa Bay. And I want to say this, man. New team, new coordinators, everything that Tampa Bay had. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think there's a team that was going to lose against Tampa in the first game. I don't think there was a team. Maybe Atlanta would have lost against Tampa, but other than that, everybody was going to beat Tampa. There was no chemistry. You could tell Tom Brady wasn't seeing anything. And game 2, they figured a lot of things out. I mean, you've seen a lot of growth in that Tampa Bay game against Carolina. And don't get me wrong, it's Carolina. I get it. But there was a lot of growth in that team meshing together and playing offense the way Tom Brady's used to playing offense, I guess. But that game against New Orleans, man, I didn't see one team that was going to lose to Tampa Bay in week 1. I just want to say that because I just didn't see it. But week 2, they figured a lot of things out. I got to give Tampa Bay credit on that offense, man.
Well, Tampa Bay, I mean, they have a lot of weapons on offense. So I don't think it was going to be one of those things where it was going to take them a while to figure out. If it didn't happen this week against Carolina, it might happen next week against Denver or the week after that. I mean, I just think they have a lot of stuff there going for them on offense. The concern for me with Tampa Bay is their defense. I don't know if they can stop anybody. And I think that's what's going to hold them back ultimately. Remember, I did the picks and we had our picks. I don't think either one of us had Tampa Bay making the playoffs. So I mean, I think they could, and they could. Again, really uneven year. You never know. Tampa Bay is capable. They have those weapons there where they can get hot. But I do think Bucks head coach. Well, hey, look, Jose, Bruce Arians is known to do that. So
he is not Bill Belichick. He is not. Yeah. We're going to look at the film and we'll see what happened.
Yeah,
that's Bill Belichick. Harry's on the other hand, he's like, nah, that was Tom Brady. He shouldn't have done this and he shouldn't have done that. Then you go back and look at the film and you realize Evans did not do his post route like he was supposed to, and that's on Evans. That first interception was on Evans.
Yeah, he's Bruce Arians is known to kind of call out quarterbacks at press conferences. So we'll see how that dynamic works. Like I said, I don't think the offense is a problem for Tampa Bay. To me, it's their defense. I feel like they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. They're going to be in a lot of 40 to 35 games as far as I'm concerned. And until their defense gets better, that's what I think is going to hold them back from being in the playoffs. Although one of the teams I did say would make the playoffs on a wild card, Minnesota, not off to a good start. They're 0-2, and Kirk Cousins looks terrible. Now, you know how I feel about Kirk Cousins. I think he's overrated anyway, but my goodness, that was awful. I think the man had some stats. It was 6 of 20 for 59 yards and 3 picks. I think that was in I want to say that was in the third quarter before maybe he puts together some garbage stats, but Minnesota looking bad. So, hey, 2 weeks. So there's no reason 2 weeks. There's no reason to panic right now, but yeah, some team's going to have to get it together. I know, but you're with Atlanta needing to start over. Yes.
We're panicking.
Yeah. You're with Atlanta needed to start over. And honestly, another team that probably needs to start over is the Houston Texans. If we're going to go that route, they probably need to start. Now they signed Deshaun Watson to a long-term deal. So cool. Build around him. But the rest of those people, starting with the head coach and GM, Bill O'Brien, who I never liked anyway, he got to go. Got to get out of here. See you later. Out.
Yeah. And, and Carolina did it right, man. They blew it up last year. You're not going to expect too much from Carolina this year. So that's another team that needed to get that blown up, and good for them for doing that. But I mean, you got Cousins in Minnesota. Yeah, you got Kirk Cousins. You might as well go ahead and blow that up too, just because Cousins there.
So, all right. So, Patrick, a couple people commented. So Jose is asking, should we put an asterisk next to the season?
No.
I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm
They're
Yeah,
playing full pads and they're traveling. No.
yeah, and it's a full season. Yeah,
And
I mean they didn't start late. They didn't decide we're gonna push this back to October or anything like that.
preseason
I'm gonna
doesn't
say,
count because they were talking about going to 2 games anyway. So
yeah. So I'm gonna say no on that one. I think this season is legit. Denver, okay, this is from Bear. So Denver's panicking with all their injuries. Bear, Denver didn't really have too much of a shot anyway. But
that was the other team that had the injury, Denver.
I
They
take
didn't
that
have
back.
that anyway.
You know what? I take that back because I had talked to Bear a little bit about Denver, and I felt like if Denver was able to stay healthy, I like what they were building. They had drafted Jerry Jeudy to go with Cortland Sutton. Nice receiving core. They have a good running back stable with Philip Lindsay leading the way. Drew Lock surprised me a little bit with this quarterback play from last year, coming in with a camp. Maybe he could be better. And Denver's defense is normally pretty solid, but they're the ones that you remember when you were talking about injuries. They're the ones I was talking about, Patrick. They got hit hard. Von Miller's gone for a long time. Drew Lock got hurt. Yeah, Drew Lock got hurt in the game against Pittsburgh. Cortland Sutton, he's gone for the year now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Denver, they've been hit hard with some injuries as well. It's just one of those years, man, because I mean, I just don't feel like people, not to knock any of the players, but I don't even know if they really trained like they normally would, because they really couldn't. So I mean, unless they were doing their stuff on the off season, the stuff that they would do, I guess, outside of.
You can always leave it up to Grunt to do his normal stuff in the off season.
Yeah, well, party boats, right?
Man, Grunt's good. he did all his off season training.
Nah, man. Well, hey, let's move on to a couple of other topics real quick, and then we can jump back on the NFL. So, Patrick, you got Major League Baseball. They're in their last week of the regular season. Speaking of, should I call that one an asterisk since they're playing 60 games?
Yeah.
so speaking of asterisk seasons, so we'll go ahead and go there. You have teams who have clinched playoff spots. Tampa Bay is in. The Yankees are in. I think the White Sox and the Twins are in as well. And Oakland. So there's 5 spots. They're already clinched in the American League.
They need one more.
Is it one more? Did they go to 6? Did they go to 6?
You're right. They're done. The AL is done. Are they doing the exhibition game?
You know what? I'd have to research that. I don't know. I thought they were going to keep things like it was. They might go to a wild card series though. That I'm not for sure. Not a wild card series. The play-in series. My bad.
The play-in series, one game.
They might change that to a 3-game series.
Oh,
I don't know if they did it this year though. That's what I'm wondering. But in the National League, you have the Dodgers and Padres. I think they've clinched spots.
That's it.
Yeah, but Atlanta's looking good to win the division.
Atlanta's up 4 games and the Cubs are half.
Yeah, so they're looking good to win those divisions, and then we'll see about the other wild card, which looks like the Marlins are in the driver's seat for that. So
for now.
But I mean, hey, you have what, 4 or 5 games left? I mean, the season will be done after Sunday. So I mean, it's getting down to that nitty gritty, man. Now, I do want to get your thoughts on this, Patrick, because I mean, you've been dealing with a lot of stuff. Do you think the Chicago White Sox are a threat to maybe win the World Series? And that was something I had brought up last week, so I don't know.
I mean, during this year, man, anybody's a threat. It's a 60-game series, or it's a 60-game season. So anybody could be a threat. I mean, you're not taxed in on all your pitching. So there's a few teams that's already taxed out on their their bullpen, but they're not even going to the playoffs at this point, so they're not really to worry. But I mean, anything could happen. Chicago, their starting pitching is given average 6 innings. What if you can't ask for more? You know what I mean? Their average starting bullpen is right around 6th, 7th inning. So, I mean, you're not taxing your bullpen. You're not taxing your starting pitching. And you don't have a lot of sluggers on the team. They're just putting the ball in play. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll win the World Series. I don't even think they'll go that far. But you never know. I mean, they're in the playoffs. So, at this point, anybody's a threat.
It's COVID year. So I mean, I guess this is what I'm saying. And the way Major League Baseball decided to do the season, it was really, if you got hot, if you were able to rattle off a 7-8 game winning streak with everything that is going on in that year, with it being so shortened, you can ride that. You can literally ride that to the end of the season. And the White Sox are one of those teams. You're talking about having the teams who get off to fast starts normally when it is 162 games. Those are probably the teams that are sitting better to do something in a season like this. Tampa Bay, fast starting team normally. And here they are, first place in the American League East. The White Sox, the last couple of years, have been a team that did start fast, but they just petered out starting around July or August. No time to really peter out. So they can write this out.
So they're due to start petering out, I guess.
Right.
Did you just make up that word?
Yeah, I know I have heard it before. That was just kind of the first thing that just kind of came on. Petering. There we go. Yeah, someone might have to check the dictionary for me just to make sure.
Yeah, it's an Urban Dictionary, because the only thing, petering is not something that goes out slow in my head right now. So
Oakland. Now Oakland is interesting because Oakland normally starts to get going. Oh, petering out. Thanks, Jose. Appreciate it.
Hey, look at it this way. Leave it to a Puerto Rican to tell us how to speak English.
Yes,
thanks, Jose.
Boston's ours in the so
appreciate
it. So but yeah, Oakland is interesting because normally they're the team who starts to peak with yen. So
you speak Spanish now, huh, Charles? Okay. Hey, you are bilingual. Nice.
Sometimes, like, I mean, I can't speak fluently, but I do get a few of the sayings.
I know what Krika face is.
Oakland is interesting because they're a team that's actually starts to peak around July or August. They came out the blocks ready to go, and they already have the division locked up. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I think the White Sox have as good. I think the White Sox have as good of a chance as anybody. Real quick, Patrick, let's move on to the NBA. And you have the Lakers and Nuggets. They're playing right now. Denver is up 3 in the first quarter. Of course, the Lakers are up 2-0. Anthony Davis hit that buzzer-beating 3 to put them up 2-0. And in the Eastern Conference, got a good one shaping up between the Celtics and the Heat. Heat are up 2-1. Well, how are you seeing these series play out? Well, okay, I know. I pretty much know your answer for the Lakers one because you said they would sweep. But what about the Eastern Conference?
Well, I mean, look, when you got a team like the Lakers, man, much as I can't stand LeBron, dude, what can you – I mean, look, Denver threw everything they had at the Lakers in Game 2. Rightfully probably should have won that game. But I mean, at this point, it's just destined that the Lakers are probably going to win that game or win that series in a sweep. Because when you got Anthony Davis hitting a 3-point shot at the buzzer to win the game, what do you do? I mean, and truthfully, Denver played good defense on that. It was just better offense. What are you gonna say? Miami and Boston. Let's be completely honest. We didn't see Miami being in this position, but for a team to peak at the right time, Miami just peaked at the right time. They are playing more selfless basketball right now than they have in the entire season. Jimmy Butler, I think he probably has more assists than I think I've ever seen. He can have 3 assists in a game, and he had more than he had 2 years ago all season. You know what I mean? He is that big of a ball hog. But right now, he is in this whole mindset. I don't really care who scores. Somebody just score because I want to win. You know what I mean? And when you have Jimmy Butler saying that, special things can happen. And obviously they are in Miami. I mean, truthfully, I didn't see them getting here. I thought they were going to get beat by who are they playing? Bucks. I thought they were going to get beat by the Bucks, but they handled the Bucks. And Game 3, it's one of those more important games. I always say there's 3 important games in all of the series: Game 1, Game 3, Game 7. Those are your 3 games that you have to win those games. Boston come in, they needed to win Game 3. You go down 3-0, that's almost a wrap for you. So they needed to win that game. But with that,
in NBA history, sorry, cut you off. In NBA history, that is a wrap because no team's ever come back.
It's never happened. I mean, 3-1, I think, has been done only a couple of times. But 3-0, that's it. You're pretty much done. Now, granted, we are playing all of our games in Orlando right now, so there's really no home court advantage, so to speak. But I mean, still 3-0, that's hard to come back from. But with all that being said, if Miami continues playing the way they're playing right now, it's probably going to be an LA versus Miami final.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler he's grown. Straight up, he's grown. Once he's found that role, he's been able to fall right in. Miami has a good culture down there. Still have Pat Riley down there. Eric Spoelstra is a good coach, and they have a good, solid team of young or mix, I say, of youth and experience there to kind of help build around. You put Jimmy Butler in that role, it's somewhere where he could thrive. He's a guy, he competes, he plays hard, and you've seen that growth in him. And I think that was just one of those things that kind of had to happen if Miami was going to go far. And like you said, it's kind of everything is meshed at the right time. The players are playing well together, and here they are in the position they're in right now. Boston, I believe they are the better team out of the 2. They just can't hold leads. That's been their problem. They could not.
They are a better team. Statistically, across the board, they're a better team. On paper, they're a better team. They're just there's a miss somewhere, and hopefully they found it, because I mean, how ironic would it be to have a Miami LA with LeBron James? But truthfully, personally, I would much rather see an LA versus Boston, because I think Boston would give LA a harder time. Miami, I just think that would be 4-1, and that would be done. But why is my Google Hangouts trying to pop up? Dumb. Yeah. Anyway, I think Miami would be a 4-1. I think you'd get a better series from Boston, because I think Boston matches up against LA a little bit better.
Yeah, Boston, I think they're a little bit deeper too. They just have to hold leads. Yeah, they can hold a lead. Like Game 2, they had a 14, 15-point lead in there, blew it. I mean, you have to hold on to those leads. One thing about Miami, they have been very, very scrappy, They have come back in games even before this series. So if you have them down, you have to put them down. Maybe Boston has kind of learned that lesson, and maybe they start to assert themselves a little bit. Game 4 of that series is tomorrow night, so it'll be interesting. That could be that swing game that we talk about. It could be that game where Miami is just about to to take that command and lead, or this could be the one where Boston's like, "Up, we're back even. Now we know what to do. We'll go ahead and do it and put the series away." We'll see. It'll be interesting. Yeah, with the Lakers and the Nuggets, look, same thing. Denver is scrappy. They're going to continue to compete and fight, but the Lakers, they're better. It's the better team to me. Oh, one more thing that I want to say before we open the floor up to you a little bit. The Clippers went out last week to the Nuggets, blowing that 3-1 lead. I just wanted to say this, if I didn't say it last week. Kawhi Leonard has to get crushed for this. He has to. If you're going to put him up there with LeBron and some of these other guys as an elite player, he has to get some blame for this. The people, I really haven't heard that. Really haven't heard it. That's the thing. It's like everybody's kind of making excuses for him. No, this was LeBron. He's getting crushed for this. The Sharks are out to get him. Kawhi Leonard has to get that same blame. They blew a 3-1 lead, and he's the leader of the team. He helped orchestrate this team, Patrick. He pulled a LeBron. He went ahead. He was able to pick players. He got Paul George to go over there. They traded half of the squad to Oklahoma City to get Paul George. Why you do that for Paul George, I don't know. I think Paul George is an overrated player.
Hey, ask LeBron why RJ Smith gets the money he gets. What about Thompson? Why does he get money the way he got money?
But
where's Kevin Love at? He shoots 30% in Minnesota, and then he comes to Miami and shoots 29.
But Kawhi has to
leader.
Yeah, the leader. We got to keep you in the screen, Patrick. But he has to get killed. I hadn't really seen it, not to the degree that he probably should get crushed, but he has to get some blame. He got all the credit last year, rightfully so, for helping or for leading Toronto to that championship. He has to get that criticism for this collapse, because that's what that was. This was a collapse. And then Paul George apparently going to say, well, we weren't expected to win the title this year. Man, everybody had y'all winning the title this year. So, so don't tell me. So don't tell me you all of a sudden when you guys are going home, oh, man, we weren't accepted to do that. Give me a break. So,
and honestly, I wish the players would just let the manager pick the team, because look, when a manager picks the team, look what happened in Toronto last year. Then you fast forward to this year and you got Kawhi Leonard pulling up, oh yeah, let's get Paul George. And I don't know why that name even comes to my mind on this is who we need to put on our team, because I don't know anybody that would want Paul George on their team. Like he seriously needs to retire. I don't know why he's even there, but why they feel like players need to have a say-so in this, I have no clue. LeBron James, I mean, look, at least LeBron James went and got Anthony Davis.
Well, I think it's always been one of those things where you talk to your star player about people you can play with, how you think they will mesh. I mean, because that's been going on. I mean, Jordan had say-sos. Magic Johnson, he had say-so. Magic Johnson, he pretty much got a coach fired. So I think that has happened throughout time, but it just depends
on his level.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the level. And if you're going to let it get to the point where you're letting the players pretty much dictate who you get, that's where I think the issue comes in. These guys are in these positions for a reason. Give them an opportunity to do their jobs. If they don't do their jobs, then you decide, hey, maybe we need to go in another direction. But yeah, your GM, him and the head coach should be lockstep. Those are the guys.
Good money to sit there and let LeBron make their choices for them. Yeah.
Those are the guys, the general manager and the head coach. Those are the guys who are going to be the ones who are around the talent the most. So they should have a good say-so or a good idea of how they want to build the team. If one of those two guys, Patrick, are off, then you're not going to have a good team. It's just that simple. If you have one guy who is going off of what a player says and then the other guy going off on whatever chart, analytic chart, whatever it is, it's not going to work because it's two different aspects.
Can't pull a Billy Bean in basketball.
Yeah.
Shout out Phil. What's up, man? How you been?
Yep. I seen that he got on there. He was like, "Yep." I was like, hey, man, good to have you on there. Good to have you on there, Phil. Good to have you taking a look at us, man.
Appreciate it. But looking at back to the finals and seeing where, like I said, man, I hope Boston makes it. I mean, because they're just going to be a better matchup. I mean, LA is going to be a hard team to beat, regardless of who goes. But I mean, I think people like Jason Tatum would be able to put LeBron a little bit more on lock than Jimmy Butler could. Just his personal opinion.
Well, wait, Patrick, before we get out of here, man, hey, you've been gone for a little bit. I know you did the shorty with your NFL picks. Anything, were you able to, what do you say? So sad, my Grizz are out. Hey,
they were out before the season started.
Look, no, hey, Patrick, you're being hard on Memphis right now. Memphis has a good young team they can build around. Ja Morant is gonna be good.
They're a great squad. They're about 2 years out before they're gonna really make some noise and make people take notice.
Yeah, that's true. And so, I mean, but they're able to keep that talent together. That they could have something
special. It's gonna be special in Memphis. It will be.
So, look at him representing for Memphis. Beale Street. You know what, man? Hey, man, I haven't been to Beale Street in a while, so I might need to make another trip.
You ain't making no trips anytime soon.
I know.
Maybe in a couple weeks.
So, Patrick, before we get out, man, did anything catch your eye? I mean, I know you've been through a lot in these last few weeks. Is there anything you want to speak on before we got out?
One thing, since we hadn't talked about it, NHL.
What? Avoid Beale Street. Sorry to cut you off. Avoid Beale Street. Oh, all right.
Oh, man. That's where all the action's at. If you're supposed to avoid it, that's where you need to go.
Yeah. Just saying. Hey, if I have a Memphis resident who has Memphis as their hometown telling me to avoid Beale Street, man, I guess I gotta listen to Phil, man. I gotta avoid Beale Street.
I'll be on the outskirts looking in with my gray goose. Man, you know what the goose will do? The goose will get you loose. Next thing you know, I'm in the middle of Beale Street, butt naked. I don't know. This is how it rolls. You know how it is. The NHL, man. Tampa Bay and Dallas, man. It's a good series up there right now.
Yeah, tied at 1. I could tell you, I know the people in Dallas Fort Worth, they're all about it. A lot of green going.
Hey, a lot of people are
yeah. A lot of people are wearing what they call that victory green around there. So it'll be a good series. I wouldn't be surprised to see that series go 7. I think the teams are very evenly matched looking at it right now. The Stars might be a little faster and that might give them a little bit of an edge. Tampa Bay is fast too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're fast. But I also would have to say Dallas's blue liners are a little bit more physical during this series right now.
Jamie Benn is playing very physical, dude.
Yeah, dude. Which I'm very surprised because he's normally not like that physical.
Not like that.
Not like that. And then Dallas is also getting in the dirty areas, man. Like right in front of the goal, they reflections and rebounds are always big. And what we always say, just like in college basketball, man, a hot point guard will take you through March Madness. A hot goalie will take you through to the finals, man. And Dallas's goalie he's hot right now. So, yeah, it's looking good right now. Like I said, those blue liners for Dallas, man, they're physical right now. And if they stay up with that, like you said, it could go 7, but I mean, I had Dallas in 6. So,
yeah, I like Dallas to win the series too, man. Just something about them. Like it's one of those teams where you're thinking they're peaking at the right time and everything's starting to go that. Hold on. Maybe at Red Flag in Las Vegas. Look at these dudes going back to our weapons days, Patrick. So anybody who might be watching the show who has been in the weapons career field in the Air Force, Las Vegas is especially in the fighter world. Las Vegas is, good times. I guess we'll leave that at that. You're gonna have to catch us on some bloopers if you want to hear the other stories.
You have to stay after for the after show, man. That's when it gets crazy. Maybe that's what we should do one day: is cut it off and then reopen it for the after show.
We should. You know what? I had thought about that too, man. So yeah, we're that's in the works. That's one of those plans. But with that, don't say it so
Jose, I swear to God. You really want me to come to Boston, don't you? That's what that
is. You're right, Phil. Yes,
you can load luggage on a plane. Well, you couldn't do it right now, but
hey, you know what? Come on down to Fort.
Hey, shout out to the Air Force. Thanks for unpreparing us for life.
Come on down to Fort Worth, man, so you can get you a job at Lockheed Martin. We got Raytheon weapons down here too, and we got do we have Boeing down there? Well, I think we might have Boeing down there. I don't know.
I don't think Boeing is in Dallas. I think that's in Houston, isn't it?
Yeah, it might be in Houston. I know for sure we got Lockheed and Raytheon. We might have a Boeing outlet. So, a
Boeing outlet. Oh, yeah. Get your planes at a discounted rate.
No, but it's not like not an outlet like that.
That's Japan is over going, oh, looky what I could get.
Not like outlet stores, Patrick. You're talking about like one of those extensions. That sounded worse.
Ooh,
you know what?
What I can get.
Man, we going off the rails. Time to wrap it up, Patrick.
Hey, man, you don't want to set it?
I know. I opened it up. I know. Well,
way to go, Peyton Manning.
Y'all, that will do it for this Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. That is what we are breathing on for today. Make sure you guys check the show out. If you did miss it, check it out.
Oh, before you finish, you can finish that in just a minute. Read that last comment.
To be honest, some of the best times of my life. Look, I'm kidding, right? You know, it had to go.
Still fresh, baby. What's up?
Whatever. You didn't mean to wear that shirt. But yeah, you know what? Look, yes, Patrick is a funny dude, Phil. You are right. And I've heard a lot of good things about Jose, so I'm pretty sure he's funny as hell too. Jose, just so you know, if I ever come up to Boston or you come down to Dallas, we'll go ahead, hook up, man. You got a spot to go ahead and kick it if you ever come on.
You go to Dallas, Jose. Count me in.
So
How?
so with that, that will wrap up this webcast. Make sure you guys check it out. If you missed this, check this out and other episodes we have done on the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel, and smash that subscribe button. And also keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. You got a man. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I've heard that line a few times from Patrick too. So, but
that's funny.
check out the YouTube channel, smash the subscribe button, and keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. Patrick, are you doing a shorty this week?
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be on yet, but yeah, I'll do a shorty.
All right, so y'all hear Patrick is supposed to do a shorty this week. I hope to do one also. Normally, I'll do it on Monday. I haven't been doing it on Monday. Hopefully, I'll get back to the schedule for myself to do one on Monday.
Thanks, Jose.
Take care, Jose. Peace to you too.
Appreciate you checking us out. And Bear, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the comments. Thanks for the interaction for those who had joined. And we hope to see y'all and more when we do this bad boy next week. So everybody take care. I hope everyone has a good rest of the week, and we'll talk soon.